and fund the government for 3 months, as according to this deal. The big vote came one day after the president struck a deal that was somewhat surprising, and that deal was with the Democratic leadership. It angered many in his own party.
I thought it was a very, very friendly, it was a meeting that we all wanted to get together and do something, and I think the primary reason was because you look at North Korea, you look at the hurricanes, you look at what's going on in the Middle East, and I said, frankly, it's time that we walk out and shake hands and have a deal. And they agreed.
So what's the strategy here? Counselor to the President, Kellyanne Conway. Kellyanne, good to see you. Thanks for coming in tonight. Boy, a lot of head scratching among the GOP leadership. I spoke to Paul Ryan about this tonight, and there's been a lot of backlash.
But I saw that Speaker Ryan's comments to you, too. He agrees with the president that it was smart to act in a bipartisan fashion to, quote, clear the decks and lead our way to it's going to be a very busy fall on a legislative agenda. The crowning touch of that, of course, is tax reform, which Speaker Ryan will be very important in helping to pass. But, you know, Martha, the president also didn't want to give up military spending, given everything that's happening in North Korea, with the Middle East and elsewhere. And his first priority right now is to get that aid as swiftly as possible to those who are suffering from Hurricane Harvey and, God forbid, Hurricane Irma.
Was he frustrated in that room? Because, you know, the story is that they were at 18 months and then 6 months, and then they sort of agreed, you know, okay, well, we're going to agree to disagree, 6 months. At 6 months, and he said, you know what, let's just do 3. I mean, that's the story. Is he trying to send a signal to the Republican leadership that he's frustrated? Mick Mulvaney said today, he was asked, do you think the president's a little bit annoyed with his Republican leadership? And he said, yeah, probably. And he said, I am too. Is he trying to light a fire under them?
Well, the president is a successful businessman who's not a politician. People should keep reminding themselves of that when something like yesterday happens. This is a person who believes in negotiating. He believes in getting a good deal for the American people. He's not the head of the Republican Party. He's not making a deal with the Democrats. He's getting a good deal for the American people. His first goal was to get that hurricane aid and assistance to those in need. He also wanted to make sure that he has some leverage on military spending. And frankly, the other thing Director Mulvaney said today to your colleague at Fox, which is very true, is he doesn't understand why those in the right wing don't welcome a 3-month deal, because it gives them more time to make the argument about the debt ceiling, to go back and restructure it. The president is also saying what other presidents have said, which is, why don't we get rid of the debt ceiling altogether? So he started that conversation because you have these frequent and politicized votes because of the debt ceiling conundrum. But look, the mainstream media can't have it both ways. The one time they say this man he's not bipartisan, he doesn't reach out to the other side. He does that yesterday to try to get the Harvey relief and keep the negotiating opening for military spending, and then gets criticized that he's, quote, made a deal with the Democrats. It's a deal for the American people.
I want to put something up. This is what the president tweeted about DACA. He said, for all those concerned about your status during the 6-month period, you have nothing to worry about, no action. Then Nancy Pelosi said, oh, well, that's what I asked him to make clear to people in our meeting. I wanted him to give them relief that they don't have to worry during these 6 months. So that was read as sort of another you know, sort of gift to Nancy Pelosi by some. Ann Coulter chimed in with this. She said, I broke my promises, a possible 2020 slogan for President Trump. I broke my promises, betrayed my friends, and used my office to help my family, but hey, at least I'm not Hillary. What do you say to that?
The president is also telling the leaders and everyone else, Martha, that he expects border security to be part of that. This is somebody who has said from day one he's going to build the wall. He expects Congress to help fund it, and he's never backed off from that. In fact, his administration is making some selections on who will help construct the border wall. He has said very clearly that we are a nation that has spent billions of dollars over how many decades helping other nations protect their borders. It's high time that this sovereign nation has physical borders of its own that we invest in protecting. A lot of Americans agree with him. Keep the illegal aliens out, but also keep the drugs out. He's very clear about all the drugs pouring over the borders through our ports, through the U.S. Postal Service, frankly, and going into our communities. Now, on this one, nobody should read that as a tweet that Nancy Pelosi put the president up. That's the president basically saying that his hand was being forced by the 9 attorneys general who were about to file a lawsuit on September 5th. And so he took action that prevented DACA from going the way of DAPA. DAPA earlier this year was immediately stopped because of a judicial decision. The president gave a longer runway and a more compassionate, efficient, orderly wind down by saying you've got 6 months. If you're already in the pipeline, that will be respected. If you already have a permit, if you want to apply for one by close of business on September 5th, you can do that. But people have until March to get it together. By the way, the people who also have until March to get it together are the Congress. They had 7 months this year to do something on DACA. They had